A special welcome to our McDonald's starting 11 teams. The Broken Arrow Ninjas and Firecrackers will escort the Roughnecks onto the field, and the Broken Arrow Dragons will escort the Rangers onto the field and stand with them during the national anthem. If your team would like to learn how to participate in the McDonald's starting 11 program for a match during the 2016 season, head up to Guest Services or call Matt Bishop at 574-8317. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to One Oak Field, home of your Tulsa Roughnecks FC. Special thanks goes out to PSO, Tulsa's Channel 8, and iHeartRadio, tonight's fireworks match sponsors. Now just about to take off from the pitch is the Wonder Bread and Pepsi hot air balloons. And if you take pictures and post them on social media with the hashtag #RoughnecksBalloon, you can have a chance to take a ride in a hot air balloon. To learn more about these balloons and the Tulsa International Balloon Festival taking place Memorial Day weekend, visit TulsaIBF.com. Here are the reserves and starting 11 for the visiting Swope Park Rangers. Tonight's reserves are Zach Lubin, Omar Balo, Amer Gidic, Alex Milano, Nansel Silbo, Mark Anthony Gonzalez, and Daniel Shallowy. Swope Park is led by head coach Mark Dos Santos. And now for the starting 11 for the Rangers, the goalkeeper is number 1, John Kempen. Defender number 33, Jacob Van Compernol. Defender number 26, Tommy Meyer. Defender number 32, Christian Duke. Defender number 74, Jimmy Mulligan. Defender number 35, Walefi. Midfielder number 88, Kevin Oliveira. Midfielder number 44, Tomas Granito. Forward number 77, Tyler Pasher. Forward number 50, Chris Tierpak. And forward number 99, Dane Kelly. Fans, here are the officials for tonight's match. Referee Dan Wilson. Assistant referees on the board, and John Pettis. And official is Joseph Martin. Now you hear Tulsa Roughnecks FC. Midfielder number 23, Adriano Pellegrino. Midfielder number 7, Henry. Midfielder number 10, Kaleem. Forward number 20, Jason Ramos Carpio. And forward number 9, Sammy Ochoa. Ladies and gentlemen, let's now honor America by removing our hats and standing at attention as Myron Oliver performs our national anthem.
Kickoff billboard, and then we'll be ready to rock. Also, Oklahoma, as we are downtown inside the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth, originating from One Oak Field. Bank of Oklahoma is proud to support the Tulsa Roughnecks in their second year of bringing professional soccer back to the city of Tulsa. I am Jeremy Poplin, joined by David Saunders, as we are set between these two teams that opened up the 2016 USL campaign with a win last week, so both of them with 3 points on the season. Thank you to all of you who are tuning in with us, whether it be on the YouTube channel or listening online on iHeartRadio or listening on 1300 The Buzz here in the city of Tulsa. We are almost set for action. It is absolutely beautiful here in Tulsa this evening. The official weather forecast for tonight's match is provided by the News on 6 meteorologist Travis Meyer. The weather for kickoff is 72 degrees, as you see the lovely black backdrop here on the YouTube channel of the city of Tulsa, and we are underway. We will run down all starting 11 for both squads as we get started here in just one moment, and welcome in one more time as we have an offsides here early to start the game. Brady Ballou was caught. Dave Saunders, it does not get much better than this, does it, my friend?
Kid in a candy shop, kid in a sweet shop, whichever side of the Atlantic Ocean you're on, it is one of those privileged positions, Pop. I always say it. I've been looking forward to this one all week. I will look forward to the next Roughnecks game. It's always the next one is the most important. And can they build on last week's 2-0 victory? That's gone now. 3 points on the board. David's made a few changes, so we might see a slightly more attacking lineup here. I think we're going to see Henry and Pellegrino sitting in the midfield and allowing the likes of Colleen Carpio, Brady Ballou and Sammy Ochoa up front. But let's see what Swope Park are like as well. But it's going to be a great game, great night.
Kempen puts this one deep and into the corner goes the Rangers. It's a cross there from Pasher, who finds Tierpak on the opposite side. We'll get to Chris Tierpak in a moment. They're trying to get around the defender for the Roughnecks, unable to do so, as Raymond Lee was the man there. Chris Tierpak, almost 1 year ago on April 5th, right here on this surface, had 2 goals against the Tulsa Roughnecks when he was a member of the Austin Aztecs. So Roughneck fans are extremely familiar with Tierpak, as he has now joined the Swope Park Rangers side.
He's up against a very good defender in Raymond Lee, number 16, playing left back for the Roughnecks, keeping Irla Davern out of the side, which is no mean feat. So be interesting battle, that one.
Here's Pellegrino, tried to go in over the top, excuse me, over the top to Brady Ballou, and taken there by Tyler Pasher. Pasher now through the center circle, pulls back, still with the ball on his foot, will elect to go to the outside, and Pellegrino cleans that one away, but trickles back to the Swope Park Rangers. Ball played inside the box. Alex Mangles, who had a clean sheet here last week, and he was challenged almost in every aspect of last week's game. The Roughnecks were outshot 22-13 in that match. And the rookie from Cal Berkeley came away with the clean sheet, the first one here at One Oak Field. So ball played to the outside, dribbling inside the box is Carpio, and he has the ball taken away from him there, and the Roughnecks are turned away as we are just underway inside the third minute, scoreless here at One Oak Field.
What I can tell you from the first 2.5 minutes is we've got two very good footballing sides who want to get the ball down on this beautiful surface and play the game the way the modern game is being played. So I don't think we'll see too much hoofing the ball up to the front man. I think it's going to be a really good footballing game tonight, and the Roughnecks have a chance to get the ball into the box here with a free kick.
Here's the Australian Pellegrino set here on the service. This one driven inside the box. Got a piece of it there, did the Roughnecks. That was Watley coming up from one of his center positions in the back, but no trouble there whatsoever from Kempin. And he will get set to send this one forward as he does. Deep ball played. Almost brought down from the chest. That's Mason Grimes, the first opportunity for Roughneck fans to see Mason Grimes, who's back off of action with the Guam national team. Sammy Ochoa now fighting there. Has the win, tries to play centrally, and that's Kaleem that comes away with it. The former Sacramento Republic star. One touch too many out in front, knocked away for a moment. We'll play this one back. Generazzo finds Kaleem on the touchline. Little stagger step back to Generazzo. Service towards the penalty area. Hit directly up in the air, and the Roughnecks still come away with it as Generazzo now battling, and we'll play this one back to Watley. Watley with his head up near midfield. Switches the ball to the opposite side, finds Brady Ballou, and the assistance flag is up, and that is twice now that Brady Ballou has been caught in an offsides position.
Very fluid again. I would suggest to you it's a 4-2-3-1 with Sammy Ochoa up top on his own, but exciting players. Brady Ballou on the right, and of course the two exciting talents, the two new signings, Carpio and Kaleem. They're going to cause some problems for this Swope Park defence tonight.
As you can see, there's the info on the Swope Park Rangers. Mark Dos Santos, who comes over from the Ottawa Fury, side NASL. Here's Pasher working against Generazzo. Ball played inside the box, headed directly into the air. Misplayed there by Henry, and finally cleared forward for Ochoa. Ochoa has it. Knocked away from him by the defender. Here's Meyer now. Plenty of time outside the edge of the circle, and will elect to dump all the way back to Kempin. Kempin with slight pressure there from Carpio. Punches directly into the air. Ball still in the air. Tried to be brought down by Kaleem. Carpio now bumped off the ball. Referee says play on. And here comes Pasher. Pasher now over the top. Looking there. Mangles quickly off of his line. And Alex Mangles, who did not hesitate one time last week, comes away with it one more time.
Tyler Pasha looks a talent, wearing 77 for Swope Park. He has been on the left-hand side, and he's going to give Gary Generazzo a bit of a torrid time tonight, I think. But he's also cropped up in the middle and tried to find the lad up front, Dane Kelly, the Jamaican, a couple of times with, balls into feet or just a little chip over the top of the defence. So he's going to be one to watch out for tonight, Tyler Pasha. Interesting pop that these numbers in Swope Park Rangers are very, very high numbers, aren't they? Is that to do with the Sporting KC, do you think?
I'm sure that has a portion to do with it. I am intrigued by the three forwards up top. As you can see Kelly there, and boy, did Kelly have a game last week. Several opportunities in the first 13 minutes of that contest as it's brought down there by the Roughnecks. Here they are up past midfield, moving into the attacking third. There's Pellegrino, ball forward to Ochoa. Tries to play it back there. A little bit of a miscommunication with Kaleem. Kaleem, of course, the captain of the Pakistani national team. But these three forwards up top that we will see from Swope Park, Tyler Pasher, Dane Kelly, and Chris Tierpak, they have themselves quite the dynamic trio that will present problems for most of the USL. Here's Christian Duke, who plays forward on to the boot of Oliveira.
You'd say it's about 50-50 in possession?
So far, yes. Tommy Meyer over the top, looking for Christian Duke. That one is too deep off the boot. And this will result in a goal kick here for Alex Mangels as we are in the 8th minute here at One Oak Field, still scoreless. Admiral Sportswear is the official sportswear provider of the Tulsa Roughnecks FC, in addition to the official team kits. Also, look for other Admiral products at One Oak Field. There is Dane Kelly, 42 goals, the most in USL history.
Yeah, and he's quick and he's very physical as well. So Watley will have to be at his best, and so will Mason Grimes to look after him between them.
This is off Pasher, and a throw-in now for the Roughneck side. Henry off the throw-in from Chinratsu. Contact there, referee says play on, and away is Oliveira. Henry doing his best there. Henry, with his first start this season, was not in the lineup last week. There was a bit of an incident in the early portion of the season involving some of the Roughnecks players when they were in Florida. Here's a ball played in along the ground. Mangels comes off of his line, has that right around in front of Tierpak, who was just a step too short. But again, it's Pasher on the outside providing those balls in that continue to give the Roughnecks problems during the early going.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. He's going to be, they may have to double up on him, you know, tonight. Here he is again.
One more time, drops it back. Oliveira had that one, wishes he had that one back one more time. Contact there as Kaleem hits the turf. And we will hope that Kaleem is okay.
Had a good chat with some of the players after last week's game. As you know, Pop, they're really good to talk to, and they'll talk to you. And I spoke to the Scotsman Chinratsu and the Welshman Watley, and then Irla Davlin came across from the Republic of Ireland, and so we had a real sort of UK and Republic of Ireland chat. It was really good. They're really good lads, and they're keen to do well. And then with the Pellegrino coming in with the Australian twang, which was good. He's a really good guy. So good banter going on, and they seem to be gelling well as a team.
Here's Pellegrino. Kaleem is okay as he hops up off the surface here at One Oak Field. Ochoa did his best to win that one in the air. Here's Raymond Lee, and now ball played forward.
Referee's bringing that one back for a foul in the midfield. We should say Pop and I have come up with a brilliant idea between ourselves, haven't we, Pop, about having a Twitter handle that you can get involved with in the show and ask us a question, or as we always say, tell us where you are viewing or listening from tonight. So it's at Roughnecks Radio. At Roughnecks Radio, all one word. Love to hear from you tonight. At Roughnecks Radio. Ask us a question or get involved with the feed tonight.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. They're outside the arc, a turn and a look and a goal. A fantastic goal to open up inside the 11th minute. And look who it is. Wow, what a shot. An absolutely wonderful shot that was able to sneak by Mangels, and Dane Kelly adds to his lead in the amount of goals scored inside USL, make that number 43, and just like that in the 11th minute, the Swope Park Rangers strike first.
Well, we talked about Chris Tierpak. Here's the replay here. You don't give a striker too much room, and to be fair, the defense didn't really give him a lot of room. Here come the Roughnecks again. Immediate reply needed, but the danger foiled. But Dane Kelly just had one step to his left, and wow, what a shot with his left foot. Gave Mangels no chance, and the Roughnecks have to come from behind.
And that's what makes Dane Kelly so dangerous, is there is never any give up whatsoever in Dane Kelly. He continues his pursuit every step of the way.
Well, it'd be interesting to see whether he, you know, keeps firing goals like that, whether he'll be with Swope Park all season. He's that good, isn't he?
Well, they made a comment as here comes Kaleem now, and Kaleem ends up hitting the turf. A little slip in front of him there by number 74, Jimmy Mulligan, and Kaleem hit the turf. Referee says play on. Now, I do want to give the Swope Park Rangers credit from this instance, even though a lot of the reasoning behind the team and objectives is to get minutes for some of these individuals for the first team. They stated from the very get-go that we are not signing anyone on this squad unless we feel like that they have the potential at some point to play with the parent club in Kansas City with Sporting. So they have been very open about that. Here is Raymond Lee, who Sporting fans will be familiar with. Playing here for his first season in the city of Tulsa. Walefi forward. Ball bouncing around in the air near midfield. Raymond Lee has it. Pressure there from Tierpak, off of Tierpak, and this will be a throw-in on the opposite side for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Yep, Roughnecks will have to build again. It's almost like starting the whole game again when you go 1-0 down. But again, that was a quality finish. Dane Kelly there. If you're listening in on the radio, if you get a chance to view it later, just see it for the sheer, you know, the pace that he got on the ball and the fact that he just moved 1 yard to his left-hand side. And again, I say the defenders didn't really stand off him. He just created that space, and that is the sign of a top striker in the game of soccer.
They throw in their midfield for Swope Park to the far side of the field. Lee skies to get a piece of it. Settled though outside the 18 by Dane Kelly. Pressure there from behind by Raymond Lee. Did Kelly save it before he goes over the byline? He did not. And now a goal kick coming up for the Tulsa Roughnecks, who trail here in the 14th minute. It was a goal by Dane Kelly in the 11th. 1-0 is the lead for Swope Park. There you see the numbers for the Charleston Battery last season. He was 8th in the USL, was Dane Kelly, with 11 goals.
Yeah, Mangles beaten, and we should say he couldn't get anywhere near that. I mean, the ball had hit the back of the net before he'd even really dove for the ball. So it was a strong shot.
Pasher
yeah,
puts this one towards the corner. Mangles thought about it for a moment, came off of his line. Pasher now with the gentle chip there directly to Alex Mangles. The keeper comes away with it and elects to go to the opposite side to Pellegrino. Pellegrino up near midfield, ball forward, looking for Ochoa on the searching ball, and that one cleared away. And now a little shove in the back as Mason Grimes tried to go up for the challenge, and they caught Oliveira there with the foul with a little elbow in the back, and the Roughnecks want to play quickly. Here's a ball played forward. Carpio settles it outside the corner of the 18-yard box. Carpio now towards the byline, will pull back, almost loses it for a second. Brady Ballou, poor service into the box. I think Ochoa was wanting a little bit more height on that ball, but still, Chinorazzo comes away. Chinorazzo on the ground. Brady Ballou now could not get a step behind the defender, and that is the captain, Christian Duke.
Yeah, Duke, of course, who played in those local derbies for OKC last year and always performed well. At left back tonight up against Brady Ballou.
Here's Ballou towards the byline, played off of Christian Duke, and our first corner now coming up on the evening for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Swope Park Rangers are very compact when they are defending. It's going to be a hard nut to crack tonight, but here's a chance. They've got the corner. Up come the big men from the back.
Well, we talked a lot about their forwards. I will get to the Swope Park Rangers defense here in a bit because they are impressive themselves. Here's a great ball in from Pellegrino as it swings to the inside, and Henry now with contact there against Dane Kelly. Referee says play on. Now back from the back, Chinorazzo to the opposite side to Raymond Lee, and this one out of play towards the corner. A throw-in now for Tulsa.
Good play, good aggressive play from Henry there, just holding off Dane Kelly. No foul, in my opinion. Referee got it right.
There's Carpio now battling on the opposite side of the field. Wins that battle. We have our first check-in on at Roughnecks Radio, listening in from West Virginia this evening.
West Virginia, there we go.
17th minute. Swope Park leading 1-0 here in Tulsa. Here's the Welshman, Matt Watley, through the center circle. Looking to play in over the top, has Kaleem. Can Kaleem save it before it goes over the byline? The assistance flag is up, says no, he did not. And Kempen has this. And what a performance last week from John Kempen for the Rangers side. Lots of excitement surrounding him. Of course, we would be remiss if we did not say it is actually nice to see Zach Lubin back here at One Oak
Yeah, top man, Zach Lubin. And popular, he'll have to fight his way into the team, of course, past Kempin, as you say, a very exciting prospect. And but it's good to see him back.
Here's Brady Ballou that was just surrounded by 3 players, and somehow Christian Duke comes away with it. Plays to the middle, finds Oliveira. Oliveira battling now. Ball on his foot inside the box. Will dump it to the outside of Pasher. Can Pasher get before it goes over the byline? No, he cannot. And the Roughnecks will survive this probing attack from Swope Park.
I say again, Gary Chenaratsu is going to have his work cut out tonight looking after Mr. Tyler Pasher, who's wearing 77, and you just wonder whether Brady Ballou would come back and help him.
There's the numbers from Zach Lubin last season. 4-8-3 record, 73 saves. He had 2 clean sheets, a 73% save percentage. And in fairness to Zach Lubin, he was the starter for the first 15 games of last season, and it is really no secret that the Roughnecks struggled on defense last year, especially at the start of the season. Here's Brady Ballou playing towards the near touchline. As Christian Duke on him, tries to pull back from behind, and that's great help side defense from Walefi. And now the flag from the assistant goes up as Walefi has to pick himself up off of the turf, and the Roughnecks will be whistled for the foul, and Sammy Ochoa is trying to plead his case now with the referee. One quick note on Sammy Ochoa. You can look and you can see that there is a black headband and head wrap on Sammy Ochoa. Sammy Ochoa, in a game on Wednesday in which the Roughnecks were playing against ORU, collided with an ORU player, and Sammy had to have 10 staples put into the back of his head. It was a nasty, deep gash, and Sammy is out there in the starting lineup one more time.
Fair play to Sammy then. If he's first time I'd heard that, Bob. I'm amazed he's out there, but that's, shows the guts and determination he's got. And I think he is the captain tonight, is he?
He is. Boy, and there is a foul on Henry, and Henry is upset. A foul against Kevin Oliveira, and quickly Swope Park tried to go. Boy, Duke was there making a run on the outside, and you could see him give a little hop there at the end. Maybe wanted the service as Henry pleads his case with the center official. Henry, of course, from the Ivory Coast, last season came in at the midway point for the Tulsa Roughnecks and provides that bite at the midfield that is oh so important for this squad.
As is Walefi, the Brazilian, doing for Swope Park, shutting down Brady Ballou just a few moments ago. He provides that real steal, wins the ball back, gives it to the more attacking players in the side.
Ball from the middle, played to the opposite side for Tierpak, and then back to the back line and over the top as the ball bangs off of the 1300 The Buzz sign on the opposite end of the field. A nice run forward there by Tomas Granito. Tierpak. Here's Granito. Tried to play it through the defender. That's Kaleem, actually the midfielder that came back to help. Throw in now on the opposite side. Mason comes over. Now that's Pellegrino, who's bumped down from behind and was expecting a quicker call. That's why Pellegrino is going over to the assistant now to plead his case. He did get the call ultimately. Wants to make his feelings known here. And, boy, the thing that we liked, as you see Mason Grimes, a member of the Guam national team, one thing that we like about Pellegrino is he was pesky last week, and you can expect to see that same style of play throughout the entire season for the Roughnecks. And there he is with the header on the service downfield. Throw in front of the Roughnecks bench now. Thank you for joining us not only on the YouTube feed, those of you watching up in Kansas City or wherever you might be, but also on the radio side on 1300 The Buzz. Swope Park with an attack near midfield.
Talking of Kansas City, just north of Kansas City, Maryville, Missouri to be precise, Egon Heidendahl, I hope I pronounced your name right. Egon says, when will USL become the second tier American Soccer League? Of course, they are the third, aren't they, at the moment?
They did apply for the second tier, and that decision will be made in the next few years. And we are all hoping that that will be the case. Here's Brady Ballou on the near touchline, and a poor ball there from Brady as it goes out of the field of play for a throw-in now for Swope Park.
What we would say, Pop, is that the USL are doing a fantastic job, and you know, just like the turf on the infield here has to bed in, and again we say what a wonderful job they've done, by the way, the ground staff. We were talking about that before the game. Again, wonderful you know, turf on the infield. But my analogy is that, you know, leagues need to bed in. You need to be all moving in the right direction, and they've got a great president in Jake Edwards, a man that you know, I've spoken to myself, and it's all going well. And you know, like you say, it'll take a couple of years more, I think.
Mangles off of the throw-in. We are in the 23rd minute. It is 1-0 Swope Park. Shots on goal 2 for Swope Park. None so far for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Here's Adriano Pellegrino. Kaleem fighting in there, ball free and loose. Carpio now as well, and finally cleared out of play by Mulligan. And here's this back defensive line that we talked about with Jimmy Mulligan, Tommy Meyer, Van Campernoll, who of course played at Oklahoma City, along with Christian Duke. Solid, and they may ultimately end up being one of the better back lines in all of USL by the time the season is over. We do have a player that is down, and Roughnecks now with sportsmanship will play this out. I think that's Kelly, and Kelly looked like he was holding his wrist area, kind of flexing his right hand there. Of course, the goal scorer here in the 11th minute. Looks like he's going to be okay. And the favor is returned now from SPR. Watley. Generazzo. Deflection back to Watley. Here's Mason Grimes. Pressure there coming in. And too heavy off the foot as Generazzo was making a run up the touchline.
That was a wonderful catch by the little ball boy there as well. He needs to be a wide receiver. But, you know, oh, well, here come the Roughnecks again, Pop. I'll go to you.
Here's Ochoa. Nice ball in, played in. Boy, looking for Kaleem, making a great run to try to cut down the angle directly in front of Kempen. And John Kempen just in front of Kaleem.
Brave goalkeeping from Kempen. Wonderful cross from Ochoa. And Kaleem just half a yard behind.
Several ways to get involved with the USL through social media. You can follow at USL on Twitter to keep up with all the live action during the 2016 USL season. Here's a replay on the YouTube feed, and just out of the reach of Kaleem as Kempen was there. And back to action on the opposite end as Pasher now forward. Pasher with a full head of steam drops it off. Challenge there as contact. Both players hit the turf. Pasher one more time. Kaleem got a piece of it, and up from the back line is Mulligan. Mulligan now.
It's a good game, but I think if you're David Irvin, you want your team to string 3 or 4 or 5 passes together. Roughnecks haven't done that so far yet, but they're battling hard coming up against this wonderful goal from Kelly. They're down 1-0, but we've played 25 minutes, and they're hanging in there.
Carpio on the opposite side wins a throw in, that one towards Sammy Ochoa. Not much on the header as Kaleem making a run on the outside. And Granito cannot save it on the far touchline. Throw in now for Tulsa. Mason Grimes. First start for him this season to Watley. Of course, Matt Watley from Port Talbot Town, 23 years old, played in the Welsh First Division. Trying to link up with Raymond Lee there. Kaleem drops it off for Brady Ballou. A little bit of space for Brady Ballou, and this one off target, but still a heads-up play from Brady Ballou to get the shot off from distance. And why not try to challenge the young John Kempen, as Brady Ballou, 6 goals on the season last year for the Tulsa Roughnecks and one of the finalists for Rookie of the Year.
And Kaleem did well there. Exciting player, of course. We know Kaleem and Carpio, and they're going to create chances. And they set up Brady Ballou, and it's a great sight when Brady Ballou comes into the middle and fires those shots, but just a few yards wide. But good signs from the Roughnecks.
Olivier to Pasher. Tyler Pasher has been a thorn in the side so far. Mangles has to come out, gets a fist on it, punches it away outside of the 18-yard box, but still possession now for Mulligan and SPR. Oliveira challenged by Henry through midfield. Dumps this to the outside. Raymond Lee steps in front, even though his first touch fails him. And then the poor play as the ball will trickle over the byline and result in a goal kick now for the Roughnecks here in the 28th minute with SPR leading 1-0.
Pop, it's a difficult job, I know, when you're up against someone like Pasha, but you know me, I like to throw in my old stories from English football. And there was a guy that some viewers and listeners will remember, John Robertson. He wore 11, he played for Nottingham Forest when Nottingham Forest were in their heyday, and they won the European Cup and they won the English Championship. And they used to always double up on him. He was such a tricky winger that, you know, you had your right midfielder and your right back marking him. And I honestly think Brady Blue's got to come back and help Gary Generatsu tonight, because it's such a difficult job. But Pasha is running things down this left-hand side for Swope Park, the Tulsa Roughnecks right. So it's a hard job for Brady Blue. I'm not saying it's easy, but maybe just a little bit more help for Generatsu.
Look at Tierpak as the Roughnecks will start after the foul on the near side from midfield. Generatsu back to Watley. To Mason Grimes to the opposite side of the field. Grimes now, as he slips, still finds Raymond Lee pushing up off the back line. Along the touchline there. Ran into a little bit of trouble with Kaleem standing next to him. Kaleem, though, towards the byline, leaves it back. Ball played in from Pellegrino. Ochoa beaten to that ball and on the outlet to the outside for Tierpak. Tierpak, Oliveira up towards midfield through the center circle. This ball trickles there. Plenty of time and space for Pasher. Pasher now. Christian Duke run to the outside towards the corner. Tried to go 1v1 against Generatsu, and Generatsu comes away with it, but still on the clearance to the boot of Oliveira. And now that one goes by the wayside as Mangles has it, the keeper for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
That was the first time that Christian Duke has got up from left back. Simple reason, he doesn't need to. He's got Pasha in front of him. But good overlap from Duke. Here come the Roughnecks again, though, into the area.
Brady Ballou being shielded off there by the defender. And Kimpin has it.
Good defending.
Just great defending there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that you can say from there by Van Coppernol and the UNC Wilmington product from Dallas, Texas. 25 starts in 2015 with Oklahoma City. By the way, if you're wondering about the first matchup in the Final Four, Villanova finished off Oklahoma 95-51. So a crushing defeat for the Sooner fans that are in this state.
Shall we move on from that, Pop?
I think we shall. So
yeah.
Villanova has not only knocked off the Jayhawks, but knocked off the Sooners as well. And the Big East will have a representative in the championship game on Monday night. Here's Pellegrino just battling between two players from SPR. No luck there for Tomas Granito with the ball over the top.
Can I quickly say that Rich Collins has tweeted in at Roughnecks Radio, grew up next door to John Robertson. He taught me nothing about football, sadly. Rich, I don't want to better your story, and I'm glad you did. I actually played against John Robertson, but he was a lot older, and he was running a pub at the time, but he still scored 5 goals out of a 6-0 drubbing for my team in Nottingham. So, yeah, John Robertson, a great, great player.
Nice give there. Here's Granito. Back from the middle. Just across the halfway point. Easy ball to the opposite touch. Here's Tierpak, Granito, challenged now by Henry. Turns and looks in the middle. Who's Tierpak, who's chopped down from behind. This will be a set piece coming up now for SPR as we are in the 32nd minute. It is 1-0 with the Rangers leading on the goal by Dane Kelly in the 11th minute.
Great story again, Pellegrino, great signing as well, adding Steele in there with Henry. But I had a chat to him last week, and he's played in Cambodia, Thailand. He's just a really great guy. He's played everywhere.
Here's the easy ball there from Oliveira. Referee was not set and ready yet. Tried to catch the Roughnecks off guard. And you're right, Pellegrino did come to the Roughnecks via Thailand. 2009 most glorious player in the Australian A-League was Pellegrino.
He's got a nice, here's the free kick.
Free kick played in, that one headed away. It was Pasher on the service. Results in a throw-in to the opposite side on the far touch for SPR.
Yeah, Pellegrino, nice Australian twang, but some Italian roots as well. So hence the name. Great name, isn't it? Adriano Pellegrino. And he's doing well in the midfield. Here he is again.
Dicing through the Roughnecks defense, finally knocked away. Here's Ochoa. Boy, just tried the one touch to the outside. Ochoa, though, sticking with it and has a man on the outside. And the assistance flag is up. And Carpio, this time, is the guilty party for the Roughnecks.
Well, you never want to argue because you're not in line, but that did look, well, let's just say it was very close. And I think Carpio was a little bit upset there, but maybe just went a yard too much. But good signs there. Ochoa doing well and slipping the ball down that left-hand side.
You see the numbers from Tulsa last year. Dane Kelly out. Mangles has to come way off of his line. Dane Kelly back to Tierpak. Tierpak now trying to set himself up. Leaves it over for Oliveira. Ball saved there, and Chinaratsu was the man on the spot, because if Chinaratsu was not there, that was going to be the second goal for the Swope Park Rangers.
It was like pinball there, wasn't it? And Chinaratsu was behind his goalkeeper, but thank goodness he was. Roughnecks get away with it. There's a Swope Park player down, but they created the chance there. Dane Kelly did well on the right-hand side, then Tierpak was in there. They're just a real handful for the Tulsa Roughnecks defense, but well done to Mangles and to Chinaratsu.
Can we give credit there as well to Oliveira, who on this ball on the inside, you talk about a quick dynamic turn in tight space in order to get the shot off, and Chinaratsu should get credit now for keeping the Roughnecks in this one. There's a great shot from the crew. By the way, we say this every week, but we are so proud to be a part of this crew here at One Oak Field. And the production side of things, they are second to none and are able to provide some of these great shots. That is Kelly that is down. Looks like that he's going to be okay. Court Furniture has played a key role in making the Roughnecks players feel at home in Tulsa. Court Furniture, there when you need it and gone when you don't.
Chris Hockman, thank you for your tweet. He says to @Roughnecks Radio, Pellegrino also has some silverware from his time at Central Coast Mariners. Most glorious player, is just a club award from the Australian club Perth Glory. Still a solid achievement, though. He's played everywhere, hasn't he? And he was telling me, I think he left Australia when he was 18. Good to have him on the Roughnecks staff.
I thoroughly enjoyed my conversation with him to start the season. Here's Pasher. Pasher setting himself up with the left, and that shot continued to rise off the left boot, off the pink boot from Pasher. We were joking around to start the season when we had a Meet the Roughnecks with the Roustabouts, and the Roustabouts, of course, the supporter section here in Tulsa. A good look at Tyler Pasher. And Pellegrino was quick to inform me that they do not, in fact, drink Fosters in Australia. Was not aware of that fact. Feel like we've been sold a bill of goods here stateside.
And I asked him about cricket. We had a bit of banter. I said last week there's a big...
This shows our difference in sophistication. I'm asking about beer and you're asking about cricket.
We were drinking a beer together at the time, but he said he only played cricket in the back garden. So... But he's a great guy, and he's great to have in the squad. I mean, he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be tenacious on the field. He's going to be a leader on the field, but he's going to be good off it as well.
Chinaratsu on the throw-in from Duke with the header. Here's Dane Kelly. Turns, has Henry trailing behind. Chinaratsu steps in front of the would-be ball for Pasher.
And that'll make Chinaratsu feel better. That was good. He read that very well and didn't allow Pasha past him. Played neat little ball back to Mangles, and Mangles was able to clear the danger.
37th minute. It is a 1-0 lead for SPR here at One Oak Field. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you. Thank you for tuning in on the YouTube feed. I do need to give a quick shout as Pasher now from the corner drops it back to Christian Duke. Service inside the box. Tierpak came flying in from behind Raymond Lee, and that one will trickle off to the opposite side of Alex Mangels. I do want to say thank you for all the great work that they did and being able to help out this broadcast crew with some great information. Some of the ball kids from the Broken Arrow Dragons Green Country Chevy dealer sponsorship as well. Goal kick from Mangels. 1-0 lead for Swope Park Rangers. Not many opportunities so far for the Roughnecks here this evening. The play has been dominated for the most part by SPRs. Chinaratsu has to dump this one back to Mangels, and high pressure there coming in from Pasher. Forces Mangels and the ball out of play.
Yeah, Chinaratsu again. Now that's twice he's got the better of Pasher, and that's going to be good. Really sprinted back. It was a good race, actually. It could be a good race over 100 meters between those two. But well done to Chinaratsu.
Here's Christian Duke on the throw, and they were talking last week about Christian Duke and just his athletic ability and his fitness level. At times they've been concerned, as Mark Dos Santos, with Christian Duke maybe training a little bit too much or going too hard, and wonder about him in the pregame settings, having a little bit too much energy. Of course, captain, the Kansas native, had 17 starts last season and was number 2 for the Oklahoma City Energy in assists with 4.
Roughnecks, holding their own in the midfield, getting in the tackles. They just need to get Carpio and Kaleem getting the ball at their feet, giving service to Ochoa. We need a good shot on goal, good chance of goal. Here it comes.
Here comes Carpio, the 19-year-old Guatemalan, to Henry. Chinaratsu, miscommunication, trying to go down the line towards the corner flag for Brady Ballou. Not sure if he thought that Brady would hook there and make a run down the line, but still now a goal kick coming up for Kempen and Swope Park Rangers leading 1-0.
And both sides working really, really well when they haven't got the ball, and both sides shutting down the team with the ball really quickly, which is making it very difficult to create attacking situations.
Well, coming into this game, we knew it would be key as far as possession is concerned for SPR, and that's what they've done so far here this evening. They did that last week against T2 in the season opener. Good bit of defending there, not to deal with it, to knock it out in front of Carpio. That was Van Campernal that came over. Dallas, Texas native. Chinaratsu. USLsoccer.com. You can keep up to date with USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. Oliveira to Dane Kelly in the center of the pitch. Back to the middle third, just on the outside edge of the attacking third. Here's Tierpak leaving it now. Dane Kelly settles inside the box. Boy, tried to set himself up on the right foot there. The defender got over in time to get a piece of the deflection, but it was also a nice run forward there from Walefi.
Yeah, Walefi set that move up so well. Played a wonderful 1-2 with Chris Tierpak, but I think it was Watley in the end got in the way of the shot.
Here's Mulligan. Olivier back to Mulligan. Tierpak, who the diagonal run back towards the man with the ball, had that one come off of his foot. Kind of questioning things a bit there. The assistant is pointing in the direction of the Roughnecks. A throw-in now from Lee. Of course, Lee was just signed before last week's game here in Tulsa. Lee with the header towards midfield. Kaleem giving chase. Played in over the top. It's Dane Kelly between two defenders. Fighting, still has his foot on it. Leaves it for Tierpak. Tierpak with the blast, and Watley there one more time to step in front. Still not out of the danger area yet, as that one slips all the way across in front of the goal. And Pasher has his hand up. He realized that maybe he missed an opportunity, but the Roughnecks, ooh, dangerous one more time, my friend.
It was dangerous, but credit Watley and Grimes. Are they going to be David Irvin's favoured centre-back pairing, you know, on tonight's performance? Probably yes, you'd say, because both of them there got important tackles in. And we know that Dane Kelly and Chris Tierpak and Tyler Pasha are a really strong front three.
Well, and the Roughnecks are missing Jason Peters with a injury. Here's Carpio. And good help from Walefi to get back to catch a piece from Carpio, who is inside the box. And now Carpio will take the corner kick for Tulsa. Right-footed boot from Carpio. It's there. Oh, and Sammy Ochoa gives a shove from Christian Duke at the very end of that. And now there's a bit of discrepancy here.
I think the referee is just consulting with his assistant line. I have to say, I did think, I don't know if we've seen the...
He was awarded another corner.
Yeah, I think that's the right decision. And that's good refereeing. When he gets it right in the end by a discussion, that's good officiating, in my opinion. And it was definitely a corner. We could all see that.
Of course, the referee tonight, the head official, is Andrew Mushashi. Carpio.
And now, at least once in a game, a referee has to talk about pushing and shoving on a corner.
Here's the corner from Carpio for Tulsa. It's there. Boy, Kimpen comes off of his line, got a piece of it. Headed back in by Chinarazzo. Sammy Ochoa. Roughnecks players there. Watley up off the back line, keeps it alive. It's there, shot on goal, and somehow, some way, Kimpen was able to get a paw on the backhand side, and we'll see the replay on the YouTube feed, and the Roughnecks are turned away. Great hustle there from Sammy Ochoa and Watley to keep this one alive. Played back, and Lee had to go. Boy, just with the left hand, Kimpen makes the save, and we're quickly back to the opposite end, and now a foul just outside of the 18.
Good play from the Roughnecks. As you said, Raymond Lee with the shot in the end. And just going back to, we were talking about Anthony Peters, the number 6, and Sharon D. Slater Lloyd said tuned in for Anthony Peters, number 6, but did he not start on the sideline, question mark? No, yes. He's not on the sideline at all. And he's out with an injury.
Yes, he has a hamstring injury. Good ball played in as we are approaching the moment in which we will see how much time is added here to the first half. Roughnecks trailing SPR 1-0 off the goal in the 11th minute from Dane Kelly.
We should say as well, quick shout out to Eric Burns. Eric, I'll come back to you in a minute.
Here's Watley, Ochoa, and keeper easily in front of Sammy Ochoa, and a good outlet pass. 2 minutes of stoppage time added. Here's Tierpak, full head of steam, tripped up there. Referee says play on, but still stolen away. Mulligan towards the corner. Good defending there from Tulsa to come away with it. Here's Ochoa. Does so well to shield off. And the assistant has his flag up. And this will come back to the point.
Well, I say it every week, and I'll say it again, the offside rule has changed. The assistant referee has to wait as long as he possibly can to see if there's any advantage that can be given to the attacking side. But then everybody gets frustrated, and there are a few moans and groans in the crowd because the linesman then puts his flag up and gives the offside when the player becomes active, and that's what happened. They just went slightly too early.
Lee clears this one away for the Roughnecks defense. And then out of play. Don't forget, all USL matches are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. You can follow the action on the USL YouTube channel. You see David Irving there, along with Tommy Taylor.
And Pop, it's nice to know that we are providing a service for Eric Burns, amongst others, who's tweeted in, watching the game from my house here in Tulsa, getting over 7 straight days of tonsillitis, wishing I could be there. And we wish you a speedy recovery, my friend. And there is a game next Saturday right here, which we hope you can attend. But thank you for listening in tonight.
Approaching the end of the first half, almost out of time in stoppage, but still not out of the danger area yet are the Roughnecks. Throw into the deep corner. Henry slips as he tries to clear this one forward, and that will do it for the first half. here at One Oak Field. It is the goal in the 11th minute from Dane Kelly, who adds to the all-time leading list with 43. Former Charleston Battery star. There's a good look at him walking off in the background. And again, one more time in the 11th minute, and that has been the difference here at One Oak Field between the Swope Park Rangers and the Tulsa Roughnecks. And quickly, partner, some of your thoughts here on the first half.
There's the man, Dane Kelly. I mean, the moment of the half, wasn't it? He didn't need much space at all. And I say again, I said in commentary, not too much wrong from the defenders, but Kelly is that good, and he just pulled a wonderful shot with his left foot and no chance for Mangles. Roughnecks have done well latter part of that half to keep Pasha quiet, and they've got to beat that offside trap, and then we'll get some chances on goal. I still think there's hope, but Swope are a strong outfit.
We'll take a timeout on the radio side on your home for CBS Sports, 1300 The Buzz. Jeremy Poplin, David Saunders with you. The goal from Dane Kelly in the 11th minute. That has been the difference. 1-0 to the visitors from Swope Park. Roughnecks trailing here at halftime. We'll take a timeout to come back with a quick recap on the opposite side of the break. This is Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer on 1300 The Buzz.
Become a fan of the USL on Facebook and follow on Twitter for league news, interactive content, and have a chance to win exclusive giveaways. And remember that all USL regular season and playoff games are available live, free, and in high definition on YouTube. Connect with the USL YouTube channel today. Visit the new USLsoccer.com. Get the latest news and live stats, and check out the new social media hub. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield as we take time to say thank you to tonight's sponsor, Public Service Company of Oklahoma. Presenting tonight's sponsor gift is Roughnecks Vice President of Marketing, Rob Gardenhire. Please join us in thanking tonight's sponsor, represented by Stephanie Johnson, PSO's AMI Consumer Engagement Supervisor. Thank you to Public Service Company of Oklahoma. Fans, it's now time for the Bank of Oklahoma Kick for Cash. Justin, who are tonight's contestants?
All right, Kirk, we got some good contestants down here tonight. Closest to La Union, 918. I got Jeff over there. Let's hear it for Jeff. And closest to the roustabouts in the jersey, I got my man Ben. All right, they got 30 seconds. They got 5 soccer balls. Whoever kicks the most goals in the shortest amount of time is going to win $50 cash, courtesy of Bank of Oklahoma. Then they're going to go for one more big money kick, either $100 or $200. Gentlemen, are you ready? Ready over there? Ready over here? All right, timer ready. On your mark, get set, go. And they're off. Let's see that first one. It's right in there. Ben's got the first one. Jeff's got 2. Ben's got 2. We're tied up. Clock's a ticking. We got 3 over there. Oh, just wide for Jeff on the third one. 4 for 4. Let's see how this one's gonna look. Well, how many we got over there? We got 3. We got 4 on this side. We got 4 there, and we got 5 for 5. Let's give it up for Ben right here. Ben, congratulations. You are going home with $50 courtesy of the Bank of Oklahoma. Now the big question, Ben, right with me, right here. From right here, do you want to go for the big goal for only $100, or we'll bring that small goal in there and you can go for an additional $200? What do you think? Oh, he's going to go for the 100. All right. No small goal tonight. He's lining up. All right, Ben. Whenever you're ready, Roughnecks Nation, let's hear it for him for an additional $100. Ben, whenever you're ready. The kick. It's off. And the post is. What is it? It's just short. Oh, my goodness. Off the post. But you know what, Ben? We still got $50 for you, courtesy of the Bank of Oklahoma. Great job out there. Great job. Let's give it up for both of our contestants. That is the Bank of Oklahoma Kick for Cash.
Now check out the video board for the halftime stats. Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow @NikeSoccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike soccer information. Now, once again, here's Justin on the field with details about the rest of this evening and the Roughnecks' next home match.
Yeah, that's right, Kirk. We still got a lot going on this evening. And don't forget, we do have that raffle going on right now. We are giving away an authentic premium autographed jersey. This is the one you wore for the jersey unveiling. Right over there on the Armis Plaza, we got our Roughnecks tent over there. Go over there and purchase your raffle tickets. It's only $2 for one and $5 for three. And all of the proceeds are going to go to the Red Cross for the North Tulsa tornadoes victims. So we're going to get all that taken care of. We're going to help them out over there. All the funds are going to a great cause. And plus, you can go home with an autographed jersey tonight. So go over there and purchase your raffle tickets. But choose a winner before the fireworks show. That's the big fireworks. Like I said, hang around and hear the words. We have a huge fireworks show going on. We're going to last about the end of the match. Then that fireworks are going to go off. We're going to sign autographs after it. And then we are heading over to Lefty's for the official after party over there. Come on, hang out. It's an all-ages after party. We have food and drink. They're doing $1 off domestic beers and $5 Roughneck 83 mixed drinks. So come on over there, have some fun with us after tonight's match over at Lefty's on Greenwood. Then we're back again next Saturday for another match right here at One Oak Field. The first 1,500 fans are going to get a Roughnecks flag. Make sure you guys get here early. The party starts at 4:30 with the Roughnecks rally out on Elgin. Gates open at 5:30. We got another McDonald's skills clinic for the kiddos, and then the first 1,500 fans are getting a flag. So get here early and let's cheer on those Roughnecks. All right, Roughnecks Nation, let's get loud for the second half and cheer on our boys. Let's get that victory.
The Roughnecks once again thank PSO, Tulsa's Channel 8, and iHeartRadio for sponsoring tonight's match. The Tulsa Roughnecks are proud to have these fine sponsors helping us put on tonight's match and post-match fireworks show. Thanks again to PSO, Tulsa's Channel 8, and iHeartRadio. Roughnecks fans, get on your feet and get loud. It's time for the Mark Miller Buick GMC T-shirt toss.
That's right, Roughnecks Nation. Tulsa orange t-shirts. Come on, we gotta hear you. Come on, let's hear you guys get louder than that. I've been hearing you all night long. Keep it going, keep it going. Come on, nation, we want to hear you guys. I'm telling you right now, you want one of these t-shirts right here. These babies are hot. Keep it going, we got some more, keep it going. Oh, right off the chest, you gotta have that one. Come on, we got some more here. Let's paint Tulsa orange. Keep it going, we got a few more, keep it going here. Oh, I know you guys can get louder than that. I got just a few left. Come on, let's hear you. I got 2 left. All right, who wants this last one right here? Last one right here. I don't know, I want to hear you guys. This is gonna be tough, this is gonna be tough. It's sounding good. I think I gotta go up this way. That t-shirt toss was brought to you by our good friends over at Mark Miller Buick GMC. Be sure to visit them for all your new and used car needs.
2016 USL season as David Irving continues to make his way across the field after halftime. No one will make Dave Irving pick up his pace to get off the pitch to start this second half. There's the goal scorer there, Dane Kelly, and we talked about at halftime on the radio side on 1300 The Buzz just how impressive Dane Kelly, Tierpak have been, along with Oliveira.
And that's not forgetting Pasha, and thank you to Ashton, who said you guys are spot on about Pasha. Amazing talent. She's cheering him on from Ontario. Well, let's hope he has a quiet second half from the Roughnecks' point of view, Ashton, but we take your point. He is an amazing talent.
Here's Henry. First start of the season from Raymond Lee. Now played off the back of Tierpak. Saved there by Colleen. Pellegrino dumps towards the corner. Carpio will try to run on. Cleared forward, and Kaleem brings this one down, and referee will say that Kaleem got a piece of it on the arm. Kaleem upset with that, and Kaleem's got to be careful now. Referee wanted to wave that off a little bit. Evidently, he had something to say. Of course, the captain of the Pakistani national team, and what a goal scorer that Kaleem has been when he played inside the Pakistani Premier League. 72 goals and 94 appearances for him.
And his national flag is flying proudly over there, Pop, with all the other ones, the American, the English, and the Australian, etc., of all the nationalities represented by this wonderful Roughneck squad.
It is amazing, absolutely amazing, just the reach that Kaleem has in Pakistan and how he's revered there. Roughnecks just missed being able to control that ball. They're in the offensive third, and now a foul as Oliveira is on the turf, picks himself up. Little shot in the back. There you see the flags on display at One Oak. Another great shot from our crew here. Searching ball forward for Dane Kelly as Mason Grimes is hugged up behind him, and Kelly comes away with it and played towards him on the opposite side of Lee. Misplayed ball there. Grimes has to come and try to clear this away, and finally Watley does, up past midfield. Christian Duke now harassed from behind. Pasher to Duke. Duke turns. Tierpak, give and go. Pasher had it there inside the 18, and the referee is going to call this one back for a foul as
Pellegrino there, wasn't it?
Tomas Granito.
It's a little bit far out for maybe a go-on goal here, he says, hopefully. But maybe they've got other ideas. I mean, it is probably, I'd say, best part of 30 yards out. Do well to beat Alex Mangles from here, but maybe they've got something up their sleeve. Everybody back. Bar, I think it's Carpio who stayed up there for the Roughnecks, all standing either in the wall or on the 18-yard line defensively here, so we'll see what's in store.
Four-man wall, Baloo inside with Ochoa, also Kaleem and Chinarazzo. This one bounces off of the wall and over the byline for a corner now for the Rangers here in the opening minutes of the second half.
Yeah, the wall stood firm there, but now David Evan would have said to them something along the lines of, you know, you do not want to concede an early second goal in this half. You know, as I said before, we did it to Rio Grande last week, didn't we? We got that second goal early. Now the Roughnecks need to stand firm here and not concede.
Pasher. Heavy from Pasher to Henry. Carpio from the middle third, steps over. Tierpak now takes that away from him, somehow keeps it from going over the touchline, though too many men to try to dribble through, but good effort there from Tierpak, and here come the Roughnecks. Carpio cuts to the inside on the dribble, chopped down from there, no call as Walefi got a piece of young Carpio. Grimes with Pellegrino. Grimes from the back to Pellegrino. Ball forward, looking for Kaleem. Played well there by the defender. And Kempen has it for Swope Park.
Yeah, good defending from Mulligan there. He just chested that one down back to his keeper, Kempin, the 22-year-old, who, as we always say, you wouldn't miss on a dark night in that Illuminous kit, would you?
Kempin forward for Dane Kelly. Kelly now fighting there with Watley, has it. Two defenders now. Mangles on the service from Granito. Picks this one out of the air and quickly to the opposite end, looking for Ochoa. Ochoa battling, unable to come away with it. Nor is Brady Ballou. Oliveira. Christian Duke fighting. Piece of the jersey being pulled there. Roughnecks do have it now. Here's Carpio. Carpio with a little bit of space, lets one go from the outside. Trying to test the far post there. Not any danger immediately for Kempin.
But it's a shot on you know, nearly on frame, isn't it? And signs that the Roughnecks are digging in there and having to, you know, be patient in what they're doing. You know, Ochoa's not had too much joy up front against the back four, but, you know, there are signs that the wheel is turning, Pop.
Kempin off of the goal kick, looking for Tierpak. Tierpak saves it. Pellegrino with the hack up past midfield. Walefi trying to link up with Pasher. And the Roughnecks clear this one out of play to the opposite side of the field. It will be a throw-in now.
And good defending again, I would say, from Gary Chenaratsu. Really good defending against the talented Pasha.
Here's Christian Duke. Dump this one back. Now back towards midfield for the Rangers. Little flick on there from Pasher. Can Oliveira get there in time? Watley comes over to challenge, and Watley gets there just in front of Oliveira. And slow to get up, is he?
Yeah, it's a good old-fashioned South Walian challenge, that one, and Oliveira has felt the ball and the man there.
Duke with a nice angle on attack, leaves it for Pasher. Generazzo, the defender there. Still a throw in for the Rangers side. Has Duke. Oliveira back to Walefi. To the opposite field now. Tierpak showing to the outside. He is there. Raymond Lee comes over to challenge. Nice run forward on the ball from Tierpak. Played towards the penalty area, and Mangles is there. Wow. Mangles had to kick save that one because coming through was Pasher. And that was close to make it a 2-0 lead for Swope Park.
Wonderful ball in. Pasha doing that wonderful thing that strikers can do. He came in from the left-hand side, appeared in the middle, struck it first time, and it was a reaction save from Mangles that keeps the score still at 1-0 to Swope Park.
Well, it was a great ball from Granito. Here's Pasher. They will go short on the corner with Tierpak. Back to Pasher. Far post. The header is there. Keeps it in play. Around. Finally bouncing free near the penalty area. And here comes Kaleem. Kaleem with a full head of steam now.
Yeah, it was an important header from Raymond Lee there. Set Kaleem going, didn't it?
Boy, Walefi shows some of the jets that he has across the field, being to chase down Kaleem. Mason Grimes dribbling. And a poor ball there from Mason, and now they've got to be careful because here comes Dane Kelly. Henry is the first defender to meet Dane Kelly. Oh, and a shove there from Dane Kelly as they're now mixing it up, as you can see in the background there on the YouTube feed. And
well, I think we'll come back to that in a minute, Pop, because here come the Roughnecks.
Good ball to the opposite side, settled there. Pellegrino was in offsides position, and that ball just trickled to him and played off of the guard, and that ultimately means that he's in the offside position there. But I will give Henry credit, because there were a couple of times last year where Henry would have retaliated, and as a matter of fact, the retaliation costed Henry several times with the cards that were displayed towards the end of the season. So it did cost Henry, but he did not react in that moment.
And fair play to him in the first place, because he was big and he was strong against Dane Kelly, and that's what we need. And then I think accidentally he may have trod on his toe or something like that, and Kelly reacted by standing up. So you're right, and well done to Henry with some good solid defending, which you've got to do against Dane Kelly.
And there is Kaleem.
I was just looking at the bench tonight from the attacking point of view. We've got Taylor Morgan, Carlos Martinez-Balobi and Christian Matter. You just wonder whether Christian Matter might come on just to offer something a little bit different to the Roughnecks attack and something different for the defenders to think about. But some options there for David Owen. We know it's around about 6 or 7 minutes from now, Pop, that he wants to usually makes his changes, isn't it?
55th minute on the corner. SPR with a 1-0 lead. Pasher in. Generazzo. Clearance with the header to the corner of the 18. Leaves it back now. That ball on the blast plays off of Generazzo. No harm done for Mangles. He drops this one at his feet. Plays the ball forward. Like this a little bit more. Some more possession there from the midfield for the Roughnecks. At least showing a bit of ability. Looking for Dane Kelly. Nice diagonal ball. Kelly has it. Fires with the right. And just off target. And Raymond Lee and Mason Grimes were the two defenders that were back. But that's a brilliant ball that was played in from the midfield that linked up directly with Raymond Lee, or excuse me, with Dane Kelly. And boy, that is dangerous.
Yeah, outside of his right foot, ball played through. Just seeing the replay here. And by his standards, Kelly just slicing that one. Didn't get hold of it as he would have liked, but again, showing how dangerous he can be.
Mason Grimes, the defender, to Watley, the Welshman. Also spent some time in Sweden, Iceland in Division 2. Did Matt Watley.
It's just, the Roughnecks are just finding it hard to get behind those defenders, aren't they, tonight? And they need either a little ball over the top or someone to just play a 1-2 and get in behind that defence and just put a bit more pressure on John Kempin, the goalkeeper.
There's a throw in deep on the opposite end now for the Roughnecks. Generazzo will retrieve the ball. There's Watley.
And I think we are going to see our first change from the Roughnecks in a minute. If my eyes don't deceive me, I think that is Martinez getting ready. Is it over there?
Shielding the ball inside the box, played in directly at the keeper Kempin was Carpio. So Carpio with the first real opportunity for the Roughnecks here in the second half so far.
Yeah, change is imminent. Might be Belubi over there.
Tierpak towards the byline. Just in front of Dane Kelly, who Watley was there. But Alex Mangles, the rookie, who surrendered the goal in the 11th minute on the outlet pass and stolen away by SPR.
Brady Ballou just taking a heavy touch there as he was going to have a go down the right-hand side, as we know he loves to do.
Misplayed there by Mulligan. Ochoa, the touch to the outside to Kaleem. Kaleem pulls back, surrounded by three defenders, will leave for Henry. Henry near midfield, head up. And not the right idea there from Henry. At least execution-wise, Brady Ballou was the closest Roughneck player in the vicinity. But easy work for Kempin.
Yeah, easy work for Kempin. He's had a pretty quiet night so far. We hope that's going to change now in the next 32 minutes. And I think it's going to be a double change for the Roughnecks.
And I believe you are right. We'll have our first subs of the evening, as we'll have a chance now to see.
Belubi, isn't it?
It is Belubi.
Pellegrino.
On
so
for Pellegrino.
things will change in the middle of the park. Obviously, Henry will have someone next to him, and I'm just wondering whether that is Belubi. He's going to come in there for a straight swap, and I think we're going to see the tall figure of Taylor Morgan come on. Kempin just having to do a little bit of work there. He had to dive on the ball. A little bit of a scare, but he's done okay, and Taylor Morgan will come into the fray in a few moments. Don't forget your tweets on @Roughnecks Radio. Love to hear from you. Where are you listening and where are you watching from? And who are you supporting tonight? Or do you have a question?
Luby's first touch goes by the wayside. Off of the pitch and a throw in. Watley comes over to clean up on the ball forward for Pasher. Sammy Ochoa slips there just out of the reach of Henry at midfield. Tierpak. Social media. You can become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive news and interactive content. Don't forget Instagram as well. You can check out @USL Soccer on Instagram to see match highlights and action shots from games from around the USL. And Christian Duke now.
Yeah, that was quite a strong defensive tackle at the back there, wasn't it?
Yes, and you can head to your local Green Country Chevy dealer and take home the new face of Strong, the 2016 Silverado 1500. Christian Duke, the Kansas native, taken in the first round of the supplemental draft in 2013 by Sporting. He is sporting the captain's armband. Here's a look at the Roughnecks. That's Abador working on the footwork, and we will have our second sub for the Roughnecks. And this will be Carpio being replaced by Taylor Morgan. So Morgan comes on in the 62nd minute. Here for the Roughnecks. Here's the one opportunity from Carpio on the YouTube feed.
And I think Taylor Morgan, who has played on the wing, Pop, is going to go up top with Sammy Ochoa. So I think David's going more of a 4-4-2 now. Baloo on the right-hand side, Kaleem on the left, and then Henry and Balubi in the middle with Ochoa. And as I said, the massive figure of Taylor Morgan up front.
Taylor Morgan stands at 6'5". Here's his first touch. Steps over the ball, plays to the touchline for Kaleem. Raymond Lee, harassed by Tierpak. Henry to Mason Grimes, back towards the defensive third, now through the midfield. Here's Belobi. Belobi over the top, and that's going to be too far for Morgan, who just checked in.
We may see a few more longer balls, contradicting my earlier comment at the very beginning of the game, you know, thrown up towards the big man Morgan up front.
Well, and Morgan has some deceptive speed as well.
Yes.
So Tom Taylor, one of the assistant coaches, and he's been dealing with a knee injury. Here's Dane Kelly, nice pullback. Boy, Henry coming back from that midfield position because Dane Kelly had pulled that ball back and was attempting to get the shot off, and Henry steps in just in the nick of time.
Yeah, Henry's done well tonight. He's strong, he's physical, and that's what is needed.
Back to my point on Taylor Morgan is Tom Taylor had said that Taylor Morgan, if he can fully recover, and in most instances it looks like that he has, he's one of the fastest players he's seen, especially for someone that is as tall and as lanky as what Taylor Morgan is. Uses that long stride. Yeah, and, you know, as we said, being tall as well, they might lump a few more balls up for him to flick onto Sammy Ochoa. Here's Pasher. Pasher now with one defender back. It's Grimes. Pasher leaves it. And the shot directly at Mangles, but you got to give Kaleem credit because Kaleem caused that shot from Tomas Granito to not have much on it at all.
Yeah, easy save for Mangles in the end, but as you said, good defending from Kaleem. He now runs up towards the left-hand side.
Lobi back to Watley. Watley from the back line. It's like Morgan stumbled a bit right around the 18 as we are in the 65th minute with SPR leading 1-0 over Tulsa.
And another Swope Park player's gone down, so you would expect at the end of the game the number 5 to go onto the board at least right now, Pop. So, you know, we could be in for a late night. I think Ila Davron's going to come on, isn't he?
Yeah, that's Van Campernoll that's down.
I think Christian Mudder might be over there to come on, is it? It's a long way from us. It's a privileged position to be where we are in this radio booth. And we look down on another wonderful scene here in downtown Tulsa with the lights of the tall buildings away to our right-hand side. And again, a great family atmosphere in here.
It will be Davern. Here with Davern,
yeah.
the former Sligo Ranger, or Sligo Rover, excuse me, in for Raymond Lee.
So that's a straight swap, but you would expect Dav has been given the license to go forward as much as he possibly can. Again, a very difficult job because he mustn't leave the back door open.
So Irla, who came on as a substitute last week as well, will have one more substitution.
Carlos Martinez, isn't it?
This will be Martinez.
So Brady Ballou. Brady's tried hard tonight, hasn't had a lot of success down that right-hand side. Gets a handshake and a pat on the back from his coach. It's not been easy for him tonight, Brady Ballou.
Here's a look right there at Henry coming back on the YouTube feed, and sportsmanship here from the Roughnecks on the throw-in. We'll go back to Kempen.
Just needs one chance on goal to change things up here, Pop. Just one chance on goal for the Roughnecks.
And we'll see if some of the subs can provide a spark here for the Tulsa side. Martinez, who scored 12 seconds into last week, and that was by far the goal of the week in the USL, in my opinion. Nice move there towards the corner and towards the byline. That will result in a corner now for the Roughnecks here in the 67th minute, still trailing 1-0.
Yeah, good work from Taylor Morgan, right down in that far corner from us. And Irla Davern with that trusty left foot is going to come across and in-swing this one. So is this the chance?
Boy, that was loose inside the box for a moment. Roughnecks are giving some signals there. They thought that might have gone off of one of the Swope Park Ranger players.
Possibly more in hope there, wasn't it? I mean, the first ball in from Dav was low and flat. There was a flick on, and then it fell to Balubi, and his shot was quite a way over. But still, pressure from the Roughnecks. Still hope for the fans here at One Oak. That's a camping clearance that has gone straight out, and Chenaratsu with the throw-in, trying to get things going up that right-hand side. He's made himself 10 yards there. Again, he throws it up that right-hand side, and that's a foul. And Swope Park have a free kick.
Will be a free kick now. There's a replay on the YouTube, and that was just Belobi there. Contact. Ball played in for Tierpak. Tierpak got a piece of it. Dane Kelly turns, fires towards the near post. Comes off of Mangles, and then Kelly chops down one of the defenders, Generazzo, for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Do you know, Pop, for all the possession that Swope Park have had, we must remember it is still only 1-0. The goal scored in 11 minutes by Dane Kelly. And, you know, there haven't been that many chances at either end on goal. This is a sort of nip and tuck fight, isn't it? And, you know, the Roughnecks are still very much in this game with 68 minutes gone. That's a good ball.
That is a great ball as Taylor Morgan can run onto it at an angle towards the byline, plays it back. Defender got a piece of it to send it back towards the opposite touchline. And then forward, Watley plays this one back in from midfield with the header. Miscommunication there, Martinez. Martinez has it. Pass Pasher. Good save from Morgan, but a little bit too hot there for Martinez to be able to handle. And Roughnecks, though, due to the consistent pressure, still have an opportunity.
Taylor Morgan has made a difference since coming on. Just in the 5 minutes he's been on the field. That's offside against Tierpak.
They did catch Tierpak.
He's certainly made a difference, Taylor Morgan. He's come on, he plays out wide on the right-hand side. He can play on the left. He also can play as one of the front two, and he's kind of doing everything tonight. He's trying to get up there, support Sammy Ochoa, and with that height, as we've said, and with his physical presence, and as Pop pointed out earlier on, his speed, you know, he's a good all-round player.
Mangles the keeper from the back line. Here's Belobi. Belobi cuts. And this one from the middle third of the field was able to slice through. Whether he expected Martinez on more of a diagonal run there from corner of the 18, trying to get onto that one, but it was a little bit heavy as Carlos scored on opening night. 17 appearances last year with the Sacramento Republic, just signed in Tulsa.
That's a couple of times Kempin's hit his goal kick straight out. And the Roughnecks have possession of the ball again.
We had a question off of the Twitter feed from Thomas, and the width of the pitch here in Tulsa is 69. Morgan tried to slow play that one. The midfielder came through.
And it's, you know, talking about the width of the field, it's kind of set, isn't it, with the way the field is, with the way the baseball's set up. I don't think you could go much wider, Pop, could you?
I don't believe that you could. Kelly's going to try to run on this one between two defenders in Grimes and Watley. Watley settles, plays to the outside to Chinnerazzo.
Also, we've had Tim Connor said we need a relegation system like the Premier League. Bottom three relegate to the USL, top three in the USL go up to the MLS. Well, it's a great shout, but I think it'll take a few years, Tim, before that happens. I understand your point. Of course, coming from England, I'm used to the word relegation. I remember when I talked to, you know, some of my American side of the family, and they said, what does the word relegation mean? Because you know, in American sport, you're not used to that, Pop, are you? And I think it's great to have, but I think it'll take a few years yet.
I think we're a long ways away from that, and I know that has been a cry from many fans for a number of years, and I still think that we're an extremely long way away from that. You see Sammy Ochoa there. Don't forget USLsoccer.com. Keep up to date with all the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams.
What I would say on the reverse of the coin there is that I think the UK pinched the play. Well, I'll come back to you, Pop, on the...
That's Morgan, who settles off of the header. Plays to the outside. It's Kaleem. Kaleem now working, has three defenders there, leaves it for Earler Davern. Davern has to step over. Still lots of traffic there. And Kaleem will come away with it back to Henry. Henry, square ball, finds Watley. Approaching the attacking third. Here's Chinnerazzo. Slides past Pasher. Well, and that ball, not much on it there from Ochoa, who tried to turn to cut it back towards the penalty area. Knocked away there, but the Roughnecks still have a chance in the 74th minute with the throw-in. Almost near midfield. Trailing 1-0.
Just can't get it past that last defender, whether it's the back of their heel or whatever it is. They just can't get it past that last defender. But there's real hope here. The Roughnecks are really giving this a go.
Belobi over the top of Mulligan. Finds Kaleem. Kaleem towards the byline, and good defending there to knock it away is Jimmy Mulligan, but a corner now for Tulsa.
Yeah, good challenge. He took some of the, well, all of the ball and then took some of the man as well.
Oculto is the new official jersey sponsor of the Tulsa Roughnecks, infused with blue agave and citrus flavor and blended with lager-aged tequila barrel staves. Oculto delivers a distinctive taste experience unlike any other beer. 25-ounce man cans are now available at One Oak Field. And the logo looks fantastic on the front of the kits. Good service in towards the backside. Kempin came in out trying to get a piece of it. Mason Grimes was up off the back line. Christian Duke lets him know about it because he gave Kempin a bit of a shot, and Kempin is down. He's rubbing the back of his head. We'll get to see a replay on the YouTube feed. It was a great ball from Martinez. Yep, And that's just Grimes going up to challenge for the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And
nothing malicious there.
got a little bit of an elbow there on the back of the head of John Kempen.
And I think, you know, add another minute onto the board. I think we're talking 5 or 6 minutes. So hope for the Roughnecks now. They're going to take, excuse me, that's the Swope part. Is it? No, it's Henry coming off the number 7. And on comes the number 5, which is David Abidor. And that's almost a straight swap, I would suggest. Although Abidor might sit a little bit deeper, allowing the left and right back. That's, of course, Gary Generatsu at right back and Ira Ladavran to get forward a little bit more. That might be the thinking behind that. Henry's worked hard. I think he's done well.
Abidor comes to Tulsa this season. Played his college ball at Dayton, also at Creighton.
I just wonder whether, have they taken Dane Kelly off their Swope Park? They made a substitution as well. I'm looking down to see if I can see Dane Kelly out there.
They did not, because they brought in Mark Anthony Gonzalez
right
on the substitution. Nice header there. Good look from Kaleem, trying to find Morgan, running through the center of the pitch near the 18, and you can see and feel things starting to pick up a bit here for Tulsa.
I think Dane Kelly has gone off, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah. So it's good to see the back of him, but wonderful strike on 11 minutes, as we've alluded to. But to be fair to the defenders, I think, you know, they kept him relatively quiet. I think he had one other shot on goal, and I think they dealt with him pretty well. Now, the Kempen's going to take all the time he can. I think Swope Park are just going to slow this down as much as they possibly can, as you would kind of expect them to. But
yeah, there's a look at Kelly there on the sidelines, and
yeah, I think he was holding a sort of thigh area of his right leg there, but special goal it was.
Roughnecks trying to find the equalizer. 77th minute. 1-0 to SPR. From the middle of the pitch, offensive third, Oliveira. Little dump to Tierpak. Tierpak is offsides, as the assistant was right there. Boy, you know, someone else that we have not given enough credit to tonight on the Rangers side is Tomas Granito.
Right.
Because he has established himself there centrally and has provided some great service balls for the attacking side.
Yeah, one of those unsung heroes, isn't he? That sometimes they don't get the plaudits because you don't see them, you know, doing the sort of flashy stuff that the crowd love to see. But he has, as you said, he's been, you know, really rock solid in the midfield, and a good foil, of course, for Walafi, the Brazilian, another unsung hero in the Swope Park side. They're a good all-round unit. They really are.
Sammy mishit that one from midfield. Good challenge, sliding through is Irla Davern. Here comes Kaleem. Kaleem cuts to the inside, has Belobi that's there. Ball a bit behind Belobi, and now Swope Park will play through the center circle. Tierpak, one touch for Tierpak. Generazzo is there, had a little bit more time. You could even see Mangles kind of come out because Oliveira was not providing that much pressure. As a matter of fact, he had kind of cut off his run a bit there.
I think Generazzo was having a little bit of a go at Mangles and then saying, why didn't you tell me I had time, or why couldn't I have headed it back to you? But anyway, they've got to get on with it, and now Generazzo's got the throw in anyway. Just to finish my point a few minutes ago, Tim Connor, thank you again, Tim, for your tweet to at Roughnecks Radio. He was talking about the relegation thing, which we said is a little way away, but what the UK pinched, if you like, from the American system thing was the playoffs, and that came into British football, you know, a few years ago now, and it's made it really exciting because now what happens is the top three get promoted, but then you've got 4, 5, 6 and 7 in a playoff situation. And you know, even to my beloved Exeter City, who play in League Two, my city from England, they've played at Wembley, you know, and that's great to go as a fan for those fans to get in that playoff final. So I think we're a long way away from the relegation and promotion. But, you know, it's going from strength to strength, the USL, as we keep saying.
Grimes with a header back to Mangles. We have another academy player that has made their way onto the pitch for Swope Park. We'll tell you about that in just 1 second as Tierpak has a seat on the evening. Here's Chinarazzo trying to keep it in the field of play, does so. And then through sheer hustle and determination, ends up saving at least a bit of the possession for the Roughnecks for a second to give them an opportunity. And back to him on the opposite side of the field.
Chinarazzi's had a really good game for me, both in the attacking third and also defensively.
Belobe back to Watley. Watley now switching fields to the opposite side. Morgan in the air. Actually, that was Abador. I apologize. Watley steps in front of
That's a great
pass
ball
to Gonzalez. Great ball there. Here's Morgan. Morgan's got Kimpen off of his line. Poor angle. And now Kaleem. Kaleem tries to dump back for Davoren. Finds the boot of Abador. Abador now, a little sliding pass through the defense as Sammy Ochoa was there.
Do you know, it was a great ball over the top. We said that rarely have the Roughnecks been able to get behind that defensive wall that is the Swope Park Rangers defense, and there's another man down, so add another minute. I think we're up to 7 or 8 in my opinion, but credit the keeper. You know, Morgan went round him, but he managed to take him wide. Here's Morgan again. He wants a corner.
Are they going to reward him with one?
No, they are not.
They do not reward Morgan with the corner. Let's go quickly back to the substitution for the Swope Park Rangers, and that is Nansel Selbo, who comes on from Nigeria, another academy member.
Nick Hogan has got in contact. He's an SPR fan, Swope Park Rangers fan, of course, watching the game from Augusta. Looks like a great atmosphere for football there in Tulsa. Well, thank you for using the word football. And it certainly is a great atmosphere here at One Oak. You have to say, don't you, Pop? Every time we come here, it's a great atmosphere and wonderful to bring the family along.
Yes, it is. It is tremendous.
But credit your team, Nick, because they're going to be a strong outfit this season.
Here's Kaleem, knocked down from behind. That earns a call there for the Roughnecks. So an opportunity here in the 83rd minute, still trailing by 1 as Kaleem is fouled. Don't forget, on April 23rd, you can be right back here when the Roughnecks host T2, Timbers 2. It's News on 6 night. The first 1,500 fans receiving Brady Ballou St. Brady t-shirts from the News on 6 and a Colto. Here's Martinez standing over the top of this one. Not quite dead center, just a bit off. Martinez with the curler inside. Kimpen comes off of his line. Still an opportunity. Watley trying to settle there. Unable to do so. Belobe has to track this one down on the opposite side of the midway line. Chinarazzo steps in front. Martinez to Morgan.
I think if you offered David Irvin a point right now, and let's blow the final whistle, he'd take it.
Absolutely.
Obvious thing to say, but, you know, good pressure this from the Roughnecks. They're really giving this a go. 7 minutes to go, but I think it's going to be more like 15 minutes to go, Pop, because I keep saying there's got to be 7 minutes on that board now with all the injuries.
Still battling in the corner. Assistance flag goes up. That's the proper call there.
And now Grimes can go forward. Davoren's going forward. In fact, they're only going to leave Belubi back, I think. Everybody back for Swope Park Rangers.
We'll have another substitution coming on now for Swope Park. This will be Pasher.
Interesting to me, the story of the game for Pasha, because Gary Chinarazzi must have thought at the beginning of this game, my goodness me, I've really got my work cut out. And for the first sort of 20, 25 minutes, Pasha looked really, really good. But he's faded in this second half. And that's credit the defender.
This is Shalloway who comes on. And that ball is mishit from Davoren.
Yeah, David Irvin not very happy with that. Dav really just getting underneath that one and hitting it way over. A bit like my approach to the green when, you know, you hit it over the top. not only of the flag, but the whole green. It was that far over, wasn't it?
Mine would have dribbled 3 feet in front of me.
Well, I've done that as well.
Nike Soccer. Nike's a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Attendance tonight at One Oak is 4,103. Roughnecks still with plenty of time to get the equalizer, and the push has been on the last 10 minutes or so.
And we want 4,103 to really roar them on to at least a point here and suck that ball into that goal, because the crowd are important here at moments like this. Just needs one chance to fall.
Mangles trying to link up with Ochoa. Sammy's had a rough night tonight. They have been all over Sammy Ochoa.
Yeah, he's not had, well, I can't think of one opportunity, and that's not for the, lack of trying. He's really tried his heart out.
The effort's been there.
Yeah.
Just
And as you said, Pop, he's playing with those 10 staples in the back of his head. Now, that's a Davern throw. Just wants to get the ball back.
that's Selbel and Davern.
Oh, that just needed a little bit less on that, didn't it?
Just a bit. 87th minute here at One Oak. SPR, the 1-0 lead. Roughnecks, though, providing pressure. Here's maybe another opportunity. Sammy pulls back. Has Abador. Chinarazzo run from the touchline on the opposite side. Will pull back for a moment. Tries to play off of the defender. Unlucky there is Gary. In the middle of the field now, Mason Grimes has to try to help back. Here's an opportunity. Mangles comes out and makes a save.
Well, that would have been game, set, and match if he'd scored that, but that's great goalkeeping again.
That was Gonzalez, who found himself in a great position to send the Rangers home with a 2-0 victory.
And is that the turning point, the save by Mangles? Now, can the Roughnecks go up the other end and equalize?
A replay coming now. Gonzalez. Mangles did a great job coming out, cuts down his angle. Only real place he had a chance to go with that ball might have been to try to test on the near post. And here's another swap. This time it will be Granito.
Granito, yeah.
And on for the Swope Park Rangers will be number 55, Amir Djidic.
Again, I have to say, more time being added onto that board. It's going to be very interesting to see it. You're not normally wrong with that board, Pop, but I've got to say, it's got to be it's got to be 6 or 7 to me.
Mangles inside the box. Kempen came off of his line. It was free in the box for just a brief moment.
Kempin doesn't like, as not many keepers do, those balls pumped into the box. He's had a few flaps at that one, hasn't he? And, good signs for the Roughnecks. There's still a chance here. Sammy Ochoa wanted a handball off the defender there, but I think the referee just about got that one right. This is dangerous.
Very dangerous. There's Selbel. Cuts back towards the inside between two defenders with the left. No danger for Mangles.
Did well to keep that one in, to keep it alive.
He
Big
did.
Kick coming forward now.
89th minute. Waiting to see how much time will be added. Watley.
Watley's done well tonight. Again, he's a great defender for me, the Welshman. He couldn't have done anything about the goal. Davern sliding and had to make that one, or that could have been
and he did, and got another one, and we'll see referees pointing in favor.
I think he's given a free kick.
He did. He gave him a free kick.
Well, Davern had to make that one, or that could have been, as I said, a card of, pick your colour of the card. But anyway, it is only a throw-in, actually. I thought it was a free kick, so well done to Dav. That's a foul.
Davern knocked down from behind. Great replay there from the crew. Belobi, side the circle. Forward looking for Ochoa. No such luck. As Kaleem will pick up this ball, and now we will have how much time will be added here in just a few seconds. You can see the fourth there, punching in the number. Davern with the left foot inside the box. Knocked away Gonzalez. Up towards half line. There's a run coming through to the opposite side. Inside the 18 now. Mangles comes out, and that one slips across in front of the box. And 5 minutes has been added.
Well, they wanted a corner there for some...
They did. Boy, that was...
Yeah. That was
shallowy.
Quick break, wasn't it?
It was.
Whoever their conditioning coach is has done a wonderful job, because that really was 3 or 4 players bursting forward with the 90 minutes up.
Shallowy thought that Mangles got a piece on the bottom of the boot. That's why he wanted a corner.
I didn't think he did. I didn't think it was a touch.
Look at that footwork from Morgan. Morgan still has it from the touch line. Dribbles to the center. Finds Belobi. Here's a square ball. Chinnerazzo. Chinnerazzo to Martinez. Martinez. Service inside the box. 2 Roughnecks are there. They collide and make contact with each other.
And now we've got a player from, well, we've got the keeper down. I think he's just diving on the ball. We've got 2 Swope Park defenders with various injuries, and we've got a Roughnecks player down. So let's add some more minutes to the board.
That's Kaleem that actually got hit by one of his own players. While Effie helps up Kaleem, you've also got down inside the box Jimmy Mulligan.
But time must be added on. And, you know, you've got a 4th official over there. You've got 3, you know.
Even Tommy Meyer was sporting kind of a little bit of a limp there as he was walking away.
It's been a battle. and it's good shaking of the hands there between Ochoa and the defender.
I do want to say that you can become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive news and interactive content. They've got the social media aspect covered on Instagram. At USL Soccer on Instagram to see match highlights and action shots from games around the USL. And don't forget about Twitter. Follow at USL on Twitter to keep up with all the live action during the 2016 USL season.
Well, that was interesting. The referee dropped the ball, and Sammy Ochoa there just stuck a toe in as if to say, well, this is play on. And the keeper, Kemper, had to have his wits about it and dive on the ball. Would have been interesting if Ochoa's toe had got on that and he'd scored a goal. I wonder what we would have done. Anyway, it's gone now, and still it's 1-0, and Tommy Taylor's acting as ball boy now.
Trying to hurry Duke along. Christian Duke is take as much time as needed.
And I still don't think we've seen the board go up, have we?
Yes, we did.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. So how many was it, Pop?
It was 5.
Well, I'll keep my mouth shut. I think it's got to be more than that with the number of players that have gone down. I think Swope Park Rangers, you know, I don't want to accuse them of anything, but I think there's been several players that have gone down, and I think you've got to keep adding minutes. Substitutions had to be more than 5.
Off the throw in, and there's the goal on the strike. And that will more than likely do it. It's Selbel, and it was a quick throw in, and Selbel turned and fired, and it slipped past Mangles.
Well, I can moan about whatever number on the board, but you can't beat a strike like that. Selbel with an amazing finish, and you have to say 2 quality goals tonight have beaten the Roughnecks. You know, they've given it their all in the second half, but those 2 quality strikes will win the game for this very strong Swope Park Rangers. They've been good defensively, and they've been good coming forward, and they've had to soak up pressure, and that is a quality finish from the young man.
There wasn't anyone that closed in there on Nansel Selbel. And off of the little half volley, plants it in the back of the net here in stoppage time. And you almost get the sense, even with the crowd, that is kind of taking the rest of the air out of the crowd here at One Oak. Martinez for Ochoa. Shoa had space. It's a good run. Ball in over the top to Morgan. Morgan turns, fires, and a goal.
Well, let's hope. What a great ball over the top. And a wonderful finish from Taylor Morgan. That is a quality finish. There's still time for the Roughnecks.
And an even better ball from Sammy Ochoa. And the Roughnecks want to get this thing started back quickly because Taylor Morgan brings the Roughnecks back within one.
Well, there's a little boy that's celebrating the goal, but we need another ball on the field very, very quickly, and we've got one. Taylor Morgan's got one. Is there time, Pop? Is there time? Now the board becomes more important, and maybe we will gripe about that later on if we go down 2-1 here.
Look at that ball over the top. Christian Duke just over the top of Duke. And we've had another sub as well come on.
And how many times have we seen the ball go over their defense? Not many tonight.
Not many at all.
Still time. Here's Davron.
And the energy picked up just a little bit with the goal from Morgan. Here's Davron taking off of the ball there. Time now becoming a factor.
Of course, the referee can add on to the
He can, yes.
5.
Sammy Ochoa almost had a turn inside the box. We'll see. This is a corner. Great opportunity.
I think everybody's got to go in now.
Yes. Grimes left it for Martinez.
And now the noise level increases.
You can feel it pick up. Here's Martinez. Ball played in. Skipped off the header. There's Chinarazzo with the half volley.
And there's the final
that
whistle.
will do it. And the rally will come up short for the Tulsa Roughnecks. And that will be full time.
Well, Taylor Morgan gave us hope with a wonderful strike. It was the only time in the game that I can remember that the ball went over the top of the defense. It was a quality chip over the top by Sammy Ochoa, as you pointed out in commentary, Pop. But alas, it was just too late, wasn't it? And, you know, I've been griping on about it a little bit in the game, that I think there should be more time added on. But at the end of the day, you have to say this was a very brave performance of the Roughnecks. But Swope Park Rangers, on that performance, if they keep that up, are going to be up there or thereabouts. You know, they are a strong outfit with some very good all-round team players. So well done to them on the victory. But the Roughnecks will pick themselves up again and be buoyed by the fact that they gave it a really good go in the second half, especially.
This was only the first of 4 matches on the entire length of the season between these two sides. The return match here at One Oak will be on August 6th. Roughnecks will make their way up to SPR on May 14th and September 10th. So in this more regionalized schedule for teams in the USL with the 29 teams, we know that we will see this side 3 more times as they come in here and steal one at One Oak Field in Tulsa. We want to say thank you to everyone that was tuning in on YouTube tonight. Thank you for your Twitter questions. It is a pleasure to be able to call this wonderful sport for you. And there's the regional rivalries that we were talking about. St. Louis, Oklahoma City, and Swope Park Rangers. And we're excited about the opportunity to help develop more rivalries within this region. For those of you watching it on YouTube, we thank you and good luck on the rest of your season. I'm Jeremy Poplin, and my partner is David Saunders. We'll take a timeout on the radio side as the Swope Park Rangers come in with a 2-1 win over the Tulsa Roughnecks. We'll recap the goals for you on the radio side when we come back.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.